evolve as a culture. People they become more accepting to things that, quote unquote, aren't the norm.
Mm-hmm.
As we like I was saying, seeing those things, having a face for them, seeing it on television, seeing it. We're all human and we're all doing the best that we can with this thing that we have called life. So
Mm-hmm.
my childhood was um it was fine. My childhood, I didn't have any type of trauma or anything like that. I probably would say that the only thing that I really remember about my childhood is that I performed in the choir. I played
Mm-hmm.
basketball. I played football. I played baseball. And then
Mm-hmm.
I joined the chorale in middle school. And then I
Mm-hmm.
stopped playing those things because I wasn't interested uh, in those at all. I was just trying to find a spot for me and my dad to bond, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, well,
go ahead.
It's wonderful that you actually have your father's ear, and the fact that the two of you are close. Because sometimes black fathers are the hardest. I mean, besides the mother, sometimes the fathers just stand back and really let the mother, mainly in the South, take care of things. But the fact that your father is right there for you, I think that that is amazing.
Well, see, they weren't, my mother and my father weren't together. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? So I was with my mom growing up, and then I had summers with him. And so for me to garner his attention throughout the school year, I played those sports. But the person that I grew up with, growth is a beautiful thing. So the thing about life is that we always have the opportunity to learn, and we always have the opportunity to grow. And so by the time I became a child until I became an adult, the man that I knew at that time when I was a child, he's not that same guy. You understand what I'm saying? So
mm-hmm,
where there once was maybe some thoughts in his mind like, I don't like all that. He
mm-hmm,
received me, in a whole nother
mm-hmm,
way. Because that's the ticket for me. In the South, you're gonna have to become an adult to make those type of life altering decisions. I didn't have that type of support to say, oh, well, we're gonna do some investigation and find out how we can further you along. I had to wait till I was an adult, you know.
mm-hmm. Now, I want to ask you this about racism in the South. I mean, not just for the Black community, but for a woman like yourself and the gay community, it's probably a really concerning thing.
Yes, it is, but it isn't. There is a such thing as passable privilege, and like to a day to day basis, I don't have any problems. But if a friend of mine has a problem, then I too have a problem. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'll say, more than anything, it's just the racism as a whole. When you're black here in this area, it cannot be it can be hard. It can be difficult, and you'll have to find there is, I'll say this, so there is like things that aren't spoken but understood. And so when you have those types of things, you just kind of stay away from this stuff that can bother you.
Mm-hmm.
This the people, the areas that can bother you. But as far as me navigating through day to day, I'm blessed that I don't have that problem. But I do know that racism more than anything, because I think that everybody kind of gets it. Everybody has gay family members, everybody has stuff like that, so they're not really tripping about that. But
Mm-hmm.
as a business person or as a professional, you'll receive some stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then trying to purchase just different things, you're going to run into those things. Racism is
Mm-hmm.
yet alive in Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because the reason I'm asking you this is because we want to have a real understanding of what the gay community goes through, whether you're a trans woman or just a cis woman or a gay man in Alabama and
Right.
just in life. We want the world to understand that racism is alive and well in America, and that these are things that we deal with all the time that keeps the Black community from moving forward and tries to sort of mute us and keep us in control. And this is something that we cannot tolerate or put up with anymore.
Right. Right.
So,
And
Yeah, and now that we're all talking in a sense, and a lot of I see a lot of people's got boots on the ground now, and they're moving and grooving in the right direction, which they probably should have had a little. The COVID-19, like I said, is a good thing and a bad thing. COVID brought a lot of attention to things that were either propaganda or not realistic, and it also brought attention to the homelessness, the all these young people dying, and all these secret things that have seemed to come to life, and that the gay community has been talking about for a long time, and nobody really ever listened. And now we're actually seeing this for ourselves on the internet, and it's going to make a lot of people think a lot differently about the gay community. Now, because we want to, it's a good thing that you're showing people that we work, we start businesses, that we're educated, that we go to school, we take care of our children, we take care of our community, we do a lot. And this is stuff that needs to be seen and not just from pictures, because if it's digital, it's not lies.
Right.
Now, let's talk about you and your journey now as Miss Continental Plus and the direction you're going.
Hold on 1 second, because you spoke upon COVID-19. COVID-19 and everything that came with it was horrible. I lost my mother. Before I competed, I had lost my mother just shy of 6 days from a year when I competed for Miss Continental from COVID. So religiously, her decisions about not being vaccinated, and then the aftercare after she got it, that was her choice. Like, it's my choice here to be with you today and to be the woman that I am. And so COVID-19, it did a lot of damage, and what you're saying is absolutely true.
You know, I say this all the time, even though I live in Canada. Every time they say get a vaccine, and you know, I live right down the street from the gay community, right in the heart of downtown Toronto, one of the most expensive and vibrant places ever. So you know, I'm in contact with a lot of people, and mainly from doing all the shows. As soon as they say a vaccine, I go and get it.
Right.
I'm 60, and I want to make sure that I live to be at least 80 or 90.
Correct.
So I'm not about to be fighting and arguing with the government. When they say there's a vaccine here for you and it's free, come get it and it'll help you live or whatever, I'm running right over there.
Absolutely.
And a lot of Black people should understand that and stop thinking that they can some of these new viruses and diseases are very dangerous, and they don't tell us everything, but when they say a vaccine, they're actually telling you that there's a real problem.
Absolutely.
I love talking to you, Rachel, because I think you make a lot of sense. And for you to talk about your mother dying from COVID-19, this is something that needs to be heard, because she chose not to take the vaccine. And it's heartbreaking when you think about it, and the fact that it was 6 days before you ran for Miss Continental. You must have been.
No, it was 6 days shy of a year. She died September the 9th of 21. I won in 22.
Oh, okay.
And they had the pageant September the 4th.
Oh, okay. Now, what do you think is going to happen now? Has the COVID-19 affected you being on the road with the prelims?
No, it hasn't, because they have opened up the airways, the airlines rather, and you just wear your mask and you sanitize. They have sanitation stations everywhere, and so I haven't run into any problem going to my prelims as of yet. I think that we'll start to have some weather issues here shortly, but that's just, you can't control Mother Nature.
So now that you are Miss Continental Plus, what do you plan? What are your thoughts about your year? I know that it's fantastic going to the different prelims, but what is it that you're most excited about now?
I won the pageant in September, and I'll be relinquishing my title in Easter, April. So it won't be a year, but we'll still get the opportunity to do a number in September. So my plan that I had when I won and the plan that I have now, I like to say that I have now a newfound sense of urgency to get everything that I had stretched out for the year done in a shorter period of time. I had a fragrance launch that I was working on, and I will put a pin in it for now so that I can get the work done that is required of me. And I think that being the representative, all it does is allow you the opportunity to go places that you don't normally go to, so they can see you, so you can interact with them, you know. And that's the job that I have, to show up and look lovely and to be kind.
You know, this is great. Can we see the crown and the sash, or what do you have on hand?
Most definitely. I have it right here.
Oh, wow. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It says Continental. It just says.
I have this.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that.
I won this the night of. And then of course, I have this. I don't know if you can read it. It's legible. Yeah. I don't know if it's legible.
We can read it. Yeah, we can read it. No problem. Fabulous. It's fabulous. You know, talking to you today, Miss Continental plus Miss Rachel